She won't go to bed with her dad. He won't let mom give him a bath. My kids just don't prefer dad ever. My kids, on the other hand, might not prefer mom. Parent preference is a real thing. Kids associate and or pair their parents with certain activities. Some kids associate one parent with bath time, more calming, soothing activities, while they associate the other parent with like yard play and roughhousing. Now, is parent preference necessarily a bad thing? No, not necessarily, but it can be exhausting and result in hurt feelings. By the end of today's video, you're gonna have a scientific-based approach to address that, but don't let that freak you out. I swear it's user-friendly. Let's get started. Welcome back. If this is our first time meeting, my name is Alicia Tomowski, and this is my channel, The Parent Brain Ball Game. Because let's be honest, guys, sometimes this parent brain, it is just not all that intuitive. And quite frankly, you have to play ball with your kids, both figuratively and literally, to get that job done. Here, my passion is to provide you with parenting tools. Not tips, tricks, or hacks, but parenting tools of an applied behavior analysis foundation. And I like to think that I'm making me user-friendly. Now, I want to set you guys up for success. I like to make these videos relatively short. The odds are, as you're a caregiver and you have a short amount of time that you're working with anyways, so I kind of need to drop those gems as quickly as possible. So go get yourself a notebook because we're gonna get started. Why I did that, I have no idea, but we're gonna get started right now. Okay, now that we're gonna rein it back in here, how do we do this? How do we get our child to accept mom or dad putting them to bed, mom or dad giving a bath or playing ball, whatever it is, those particular and or one particular activity is, that your child has a preference of one parent versus the other without forcing that non-preferred parent onto the child. And I'm talking about when you say, nope, mommy's gonna put you to bed tonight, or nope, daddy's gonna give you a bath, mommy's doing something else. Nope, you're kind of stuck with me. Let's try to get away from like forcing ourselves onto our children. What do I mean? What are we gonna do? We're gonna do something called pairing. Super short, super simple word, right? But the process itself takes a little bit of time, but I want you to stick with me because more often than not, anything that we do that involves parenting takes time. You might not know it, but getting your child to eat, getting your child to sleep, getting your child to independently play, all of that takes time. It's really not like a snap of our fingers, as much as we would really like to be it, but it's not. So same thing with pairing ourselves and making it that both parents are acceptable for the child to be able to do stuff together with. It's gonna take a little bit of time. So when I say time, I don't want you to freak out and think that I'm thinking like, oh, this is gonna take about 2 to 3 months. No. It's gonna take time, but consecutive, diligent, a couple of days. You gotta be able to work with me. Give me at least 2 weeks here, okay, of good pairing. So let's just jump into it. We need both parent present. I'm gonna need that preferred, and unfortunately that non-preferred parent, they're both gonna be present for this particular activity, okay? And let's say the activity is gonna be bedtime. And let's say that our child prefers mom versus dad at bedtime. So I'm gonna tell you for the first 2 days, mom is the star, dad is the co-star. Dad's kind of the creeper in the corner. Dad's kind of the one in the shadow, okay? But he is present. One, to observe what the hell is going on during bedtime that mom is doing, he's not doing. So for the first 2 days, mom is doing her entire bedtime routine. Dad's the creeper in the corner, okay? Dad's creeping in the background. He's just kind of watching. But dad is there. Dad is present at that point, okay? Now we're on to day 3. At this point, dad kind of comes out from the shadows. Dad still is a silent partner at this point, but he's sitting on the couch while the books are being read. He's hanging out while you're playing your end of the night game type of thing. Day 4, mom brings you into the activity. Mom says, oh, hey, dad, you want to read the book? Mom's still present. Mom's still cuddling. Dad's on the edge reading the book type of thing. Again, it's more of like now mom's accepting of the fact that dad's here. Mom's accepting of the fact that, you know what, dad does a really good job reading the books too. What's really important at this particular stage is that dad is mirroring mom. Don't worry, you're going to be able to bring your own flair into the situation eventually. But for these first 2 weeks, you need to mirror the preferred parent. Now we're moving on to day 5. At day 5, now the non-preferred parent and preferred parent both participate equally. It is super important at this point that the preferred parent shows acceptance. You're like, oh my gosh, I like how Dad did those characters. Dad did a really good job, okay? Mom has to show acceptance of Dad participating in those activities. Then we move on to day 7. Day 7, Dad kind of starts to take the lead. Don't get ridiculous here, but Dad kind of starts to take the lead. Mom kind of starts stepping back. She's still present. She's not backing away. She's not in the shadows at this point. Mom is sitting next to the bed while Dad's reading. Mom's sitting next to the bed while Dad's cuddling, okay? Consider it more of like, at this point, you guys are enmeshed, and now you're kind of starting to separate each other slowly but surely, but not like forcibly. Your mom, preferred parent, is not forcibly removing herself, because it needs to be a gradual progression for your child in order to accept that non-preferred parent. Once you feel that you're at a point to where the non-preferred parent has kind of become the star and that preferred parent has become the co-star, now what we're going to do is we're going to sandwich the preferred parent at the beginning and at the end. At the beginning, because you want to avoid those tantrums. You want to avoid like, no, oh my God, Dad's not taking me upstairs. Okay, so Mom, you're still going to take that child upstairs. Dad, you're still going to go. But maybe for the first 15 minutes, Dad is the co-star. Mom then, again, no surprises, steps out. Mom goes and does some dishes. Mom goes and reads a book. I don't know, whatever it is that Mom wants to do for a duration of time until you get to that end of bedtime, until you get to those last 5 minutes of bedtime, the important aspect of bedtime, whether you guys do a cuddle, whether you guys do a kiss goodnight, whether you guys do a prayer, whatever you do at that end of the night that also is super important, Mom is going to come in and become that star again. Dad's still the co-star, Dad's still participating, but Mom's coming back in to like pair that relationship and say, this is all okay, all right? Now what we're gonna do is now we slowly decrease that gap. So instead of 15 minutes at the front, Mom now does 10 minutes at the front. Dad comes in. Mom then does 5 minutes in the front. Dad comes in. Mom then just walks the kiddo upstairs. Dad comes in. Now Mom says, you know what? I'm going to come up and I'll kiss you goodnight. You know what? I'm going to come up and I'm going to give you a hug, whatever it is. Again, I want to keep in mind, because I did mention, but I didn't mention as I was closing in the gap, Mom's still coming in at that end piece. During those 15, 10, and 5 increments, Mom's still coming in the end, okay? So once we're finally at the point to where Mom is saying, I'm going to come in at the end, you're going to come in at the end, and then you're going to give a kiss goodnight. Now, once we're faded you out at the beginning of the bedtime routine, then we start fading you out at the nighttime, the end of the day routine. Nighttime, the whole damn thing is about nighttime. Okay, so then we start fading you out at the end of that nighttime routine, okay? So that means you go up and you're kind of like, oh, it's time for a kiss goodnight. I'm going to go kiss you goodnight. Dad's going to say the prayer with you. You walk out, okay? And then it becomes, oh, you know what? We're both going to pray together or kiss. I don't want to say prayer if you guys don't pray, but that's just kind of what came at the end of my mind when I was thinking of different. Okay, besides one, let's move forward, okay? All right, so if we're not praying, if we're not reading books, if we're not kissing, I'm going to tuck you into bed, okay? So then it becomes, all right, I'm going to tuck you into bed. Then Mom starts to become a character that doesn't even step into the room, okay? You become that kind of creeper in the shadows, if you will, okay? You become standing at the door. Okay, good night. I love you so much. Great job. Good night, okay? And then you kind of standing at the door and you're like, okay, I love you. Okay, it's bedtime. And then you kind of fade yourself out. The whole point of this is that nothing is a surprise to your child and nothing is being forced onto your child. Your parent is not being forced onto that point. It is a progression. It is pairing. So the child feels comfortable with both Mom and Dad in that particular activity. Now, I know I use the nighttime routine throughout the entire example in this video, but you can use this for a plethora of whatever the hell activities. I know I got really quiet there and I stumbled, but I still don't know if I can swear on YouTube, and it just kind of verbally, it just kind of comes out, verbally vomits. You can use it for a plethora of activities, okay? Let's just keep going with this. I'm not stopping it. We're going to keep going. So you can use this for other activities such as like bath or reading books or, I don't know, playing games if there's like a fun parent and not fun parent, okay? This serves such a better purpose than just thrusting the non-preferred parent onto a child. Why? Because that non-preferred parent is going to come into contact with a child that is going to be tantruming, is going to be freaking out, is going to be saying, I don't want you, no, I want mommy. Not only can that hurt the non-preferred parent's feelings, but it also, quite frankly, is like, peace, I'm not dealing with that anymore. You got him for bedtime, not my gig, okay? So we don't want to do that. It's so negative for everybody. So pairing encourages such a better relationship and such a more pleasant relationship for everybody. And that wraps it up for me today, guys, right? Thank God. Okay, so if you have any questions or maybe you have other behaviors or concerns that you would like to see me comment on and or create a video on, please comment below and don't forget to hit subscribe if you found value in today's video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.